Hey, my name's John and welcome to Ask John D. Jones. Okay, so in today's episode I'm going to answer a question by a girl called Nicola. Now Nicola emailed me and she basically said she's a bit of an Episerver whiz. She's been using Episerver a few years. She's trying to learn Umbraco for freelance work, and her questions are basically, when I'm using Umbraco, can I use a code first approach to create my document types like you can in Episerver? And the second part of it is, does Umbraco have like a feature to create blocks or components within pages? So the good news is that as of Umbraco 7, there's actually quite a lot of new features, and as long as you're using the latest version of Umbracos, there's a whole ton of stuff you can do which will give you a lot of emulation of some of the things you can use in Episerver, which come out of the bag and have been around for ages. So I think probably the closest like-for-like thing that you can use in Umbraco to create like a code first model is something called Site Builder. Now I've used Site Builder for a few years. It does the job. It still works with the latest version of Umbraco 7.8. However, I probably don't recommend you use that. Now, since Umbraco 7.4, there's been a new thing called the Models Builder, which has been integrated into the core of Umbraco, and that basically does exactly the same job for you. However, because it's like a core package, it's going to be upgraded with Umbraco, so your life's probably going to be a lot easier. Now, Models Builder is slightly different than the sort of Episerver code first approach. Models Builder has like a few different modes. There's like a live mode, a DLL mode, there's like an API mode, and none of those modes sort of exactly quite fit the sort of like-for-like thing that you'd use in Episerver. However, it definitely does the trick. So you can just have a really simple mode that which is always on, and then when you're creating your document types within Umbraco, it will automatically generate strongly typed models for you, which then use in your views. You can use the DLL mode, so in your DLL mode it will actually create all your models for you, and it will build your models within the app data folder, and then it's up to you what to do with it. But then you can obviously use your strongly typed models with your controllers and all that sort of stuff. So the good news is that you can definitely use things like models, strongly typed code within your code base now. Another awesome plugin which I recommend that you check out is called Usync. Usync is like a really cool feature which I think Episerver should have as well, is that it will get all your document types and it will get all your content, it will serialize them into a folder for you, which you can then check into source control, and then just based on that you can then distribute, and all the other members in your team will be able to get code and all your document types without having to do any manual imports or any faffing about. So there's some definitely good plugins. Now, anyone else watching this who's new to Umbraco going, never used Episerver, why the hell would I want to use strongly typed models? I just want to create everything in Umbraco, and life's easy, I don't really get it, what's all the big fuss? So so I'm someone who's been using Episerver for maybe 5-6 years, and as soon as you get into the habit of code first, you'll realise how it's like a much more powerful technique and effect. Now, some of the reasons why you might want to consider using code first is obviously because it allows you to test your code easier. Now, a lot of people will be going, oh yeah, but why will I really need to create or test my document types? Well, in a lot of cases you don't actually care about testing your document types explicitly. What you probably would care about doing is trying to move all your logic out of your views and then put them into a view model or a service within your controller. And then when you're passing in your strongly typed models into your view model, you can then write tests around, is the right CSS selector being set? If there's no lists or items within a carousel, display no carousel error or something. So using strongly typed models will then definitely allow you to test some of your front-end logic just to make sure there's no errors in there. And if you're not unit testing, I definitely recommend that you give it a try. So the other reason why you should think about using strongly typed models is because it's like a really easy way to distribute your document types between your dev and your production server. If you're working in a big team with like 20 developers, it's a really easy way to start distributing your document types around the team. Otherwise, if you manually have to copy a database around, or if you manually have to each enter in a document type, things can be a bit of a nightmare. So this is where things like Models Builder and definitely Usync can definitely help. So if you're new to an Umbraco project and you're working with multiple people, definitely recommend giving it a go. So then the second part of the question is, can I use blocks within Umbraco? And as of, I think it's 7.6, you can. There's basically a new feature out which is called the Grid List View, and on there, as the name suggests, you can basically create grids, and on there you can create different columns, and in your columns you then can create different rows. In your rows you can say what components are allowed to be created, so you might be able to have a heading or a wide image. In there you can like an Episerver, you can set the width of your blocks. So in this way you can definitely create a more flexible and fluid layout that you can give to your content editors. Now from my experience of using the Umbraco one, it's really good, but I mean it's only been out for a little while now. I think when Umbraco 8.5 or some future version comes out, it's going to be absolutely awesome. At the moment it probably doesn't have the same power and the same functionality that the Episerver side of things have, but however, it's definitely a massive step forward. It works really well, it's fairly easy to pick up, so I definitely recommend that you check it out. So anyway, Nicola, I'm hoping this answers your questions. So just to recap on that, yes, I recommend having a look at the Models Builder in Umbraco, and the other thing is definitely have a look at the grid view page. Well, as you can see, I'm here to answer your questions. If you've got a question, you're unsure about anything if it comes to Sitecore, Umbraco, Episerver, general.net, even React now, ask a question, leave a comment below, or go to my website. It's jondjones.com, that's jondjones.com. In there there's a big green contact button. Fill that bad boy in, hit submit, and I'll answer it in a few weeks' time. Anyway, aside from that, if you've enjoyed this and you want to become a legend, then hit the subscribe button. At the moment we're close to 80 people, going strong, going to hit the 100 mark soon, so thanks everyone else for that. Honestly, please hit subscribe. It'll be hopefully you'll learn something and get something beneficial out of it, and I can brag that I've hit 100 people on YouTube. Again, if you found any benefit of this video, hit the like button. All that does is basically help other people find that content. Otherwise, if you're up for learning a bit about Umbraco and you don't know where to get started, head over to my website. As I said, it's jondjones.com. Over there's like 300, 200 Umbraco tutorials. It'll basically teach you everything you need to do to get up and running with Umbraco. So anyway, hope this has been beneficial. If you've got a question, please ask. Otherwise, hope you have a great day. Catch you later.